So, good morning. We just had a little share call. I'm doing an experiment upstairs because the power bar was here. It wasn't downstairs. I had a whole freaking panic. I snarled at my partner that he had moved it up here. Now I had to be up here and the Wi-Fi wasn't going to work, but now we're here. So the theme is seeing our habits and knowing that as we expand, there's going to be resistance, there's going to be fear, and all of the mental habits, whatever they are going to start to block you when you're getting to the edge of that comfort zone. So I'll just share where I'm at in my business is that I noticed a mental block. I noticed a lot of fear, a lot of insecurity, a lot of just like wanting to just not take action. And I was like, okay, I haven't had this in a while. What's going on? And when I sat with it, I realized that, I'm making a good amount of money. I'm like here in El Salvador, which has been a lifetime dream for a long time. And I can't see beyond it. So what I did and being at leadership and being immersed in workshops, inspiration, trainings, examples, coaching, like it's like a saturation 3 days. I just saw how much it broke me past my patterns and inspired me and gave me ideas and made me want to take action again and made me excited again and made me just like in love with everything. So I was like, oh, this is why. I hadn't been super connected to Elena's calls and Deb's calls. And just to say what we were talking about before I hit record is that your business will go through seasons, and that's okay. Like there was a while where I was consuming so much. I was watching every single video, doing all the Deb, and then I had to stop and like act a lot. And I did that for like a good, year. It was just like class, 12 classes, a month sometimes, do. And now I'm in a period of, yes, I'm teaching classes. Yes, I'm going to show up online. I have a class tomorrow. And really prioritizing the coaching. And I choose to do coaching with Deb Erickson, she's excellent. I mean, she does the coaching with Haley Hobson, with so many people, not only in doTERRA, but in like many, many, many MLMs. And I'm such a big fan of her work. To be honest, when I had just known her like through her website, I was a bit like, meh, because it's not a beautiful website. And she sort of is going to remind you of like your high school gym teacher, and like, she's not super relatable because she's way older than us. She's like, but when I met her in person at Leadership last year, because she did this 2-day training, I saw, like, looked her in the eye that she's all love. She's really and she's actually so much more of a spiritual, energetic healer than she gives off. It's just her branding, I guess, I don't know why she's chosen that, because we're more on the like spiritual, energetic side of things, but I guess many people in the MLM sphere aren't. Her branding is just more like coach and but like she's such an energetic, spiritual like healer. So when I like saw her and got what she's about, and really her raison d'être, she had a lot of like abuse as a little girl, and she bust past it, and her reason for like living is to help other women bust past their blocks and grow in MLM, because that's like the tool. It's like the most valuable tool she can give people, because I mean, how life-changing is it when you grow your doTERRA business, not only financially, but when you get to ranks of like, even, it starts at Premier, silver, gold, like you have this crew. I mean, even at Elite Executive, you have this crew if you choose to open to it. Anyways, so she, and it gets more and more solid and better, and there's more financial and leadership and growth the further you get. So that's where she goes. So I started doing her stuff last week. Like I just decided this at leadership like 10 days ago. And her main message, which I find so powerful and such a good reminder, is, I don't know if you have a pen and a paper handy, but if you're watching this into the future, if you're on here live, apologies, I should have said this at the beginning, grab a pen and paper and draw like a little stick figure that's you. Okay. A little person. See it? Then I want you to think of a 90-day goal that is like, would just make you so excited. 90 days. So what are we today? We're like March 17th. So April 17th, May 17th, is that right? June 17th. So by mid-June, like something has happened that's like amazing. Like I'm going to put platinum. Like that would just be amazing for me. I'd put something along the lines like we have our house figured out here. And one more thing, it can be doTERRA related or something else related. Let's say finish ebook I'm working on. Or let's go even further. 1,000 people buy the ebook I'm working on. Okay. Okay. So sorry, did I say that you have to draw them like around? Did I explain that? So you're in the middle and you're right. I did not say that. I'm sorry. So you're in the middle and you're writing these things just sort of like around it, like it's a bigger circle. Okay. Now draw a smaller circle just around you. So you're like in the middle of this circle here. Are you able to see my thing? Yeah. You draw a smaller circle around here. Now inside this little circle, write the words comfortable, easeful, fun, okay? This is inside the little circle. Comfortable, easeful, fun. Or words that like for you feel like when you're just like feeling good, like you're doing the things you know you're a rock star at, you're teaching your yoga classes, you're like, you know, cooking, doing things you know you're good at, hanging out with friends, like it's very good. Now, as you go beyond this circle and you're heading towards, you know, platinum rank or the rank you've put, the ebook, the goal, start to write the words fear, anxiety, self-sabotage, whatever your habit is, negative self-talk. Okay. So is this clear? So you have a little person in the settle, a circle around them with these sort of cozy words around it, your goals, and then as you go. So this is a visual representation of what happens when we start to expand beyond our mindset or our belief, she calls it like our imprint, our blueprint of what we think is possible for us. So when we're in like, you know, our little circle, we're like, yeah, this is what's possible for me and I feel very comfortable. And then as I go beyond, this is when all the crap is going to happen. And how do you know when this is happening? Okay, if you think of your next, let's say this goal you're going for, do you guys, okay, so let's do it right now. Do you have a goal in your head that you can think of that you want? Okay, do you know what you have to do to get there? Okay, yeah. Okay, I could do it for me. So if I have platinum, I know what I have to do. You know, let's say I need to enroll like 10 new builders. I need to do that and like 30 new customers in the next 90 days. Do I know how to do that? Gotta contact, probably like do my 2x5, but do it like 2x10, like really ramp it up, give classes, post, do all these things. Okay, do you know, would you say you know how to get to your goal? You know what you need to do? Because if you don't know what to do or how to do it, then yeah, there's some learning that needs to happen, which is very fair. Like if you're in the first month or 3 months or even 6 months of your business, you actually don't know what to do. So you have to learn those things. But if you know what to do and you know how to do it, but you're not doing it, and I would say that's true for me, that's how you know it's a mindset thing. So if you know exactly what to do, you know how to do it, but you're not doing it, then it's mindset. You hear what I'm saying? That makes sense? That resonate? So that's when you know that your subconscious is telling you things. And look, this can be a sneaky one that happens in doTERRA and maybe every other MLM, but can be a narrative as like, oh, I like killed myself to get to this rank, and I like didn't sleep, and I like blah blah blah. And while that might be true, don't lead with that mindset. So what we want to start to do, and what Deb does in her neural tools, and what we can even start to play with right now, is on my way to platinum. It is easeful. It is comfortable. I can't believe it. I walk into this workshop tomorrow and 15 people don't only want oils, they want to build. Wow. I'm going to go like to Price Mart today because we have to buy a bottom sheet, and I'm just going to meet like my next builder. It's going to be so easeful. Like I was doing it anyways. Okay. We want to start to tell our brains that we are getting to these next goals with ease, with calm. We have to calm them. We have to train them, because our reticular activating system is designed, it's part of our brain, to put on the brakes for anything that seems contrary to what we believe about ourselves. Now, for most of us, at some point in our lives, someone told us we were stupid. Someone told us that we were not worthy. Or they didn't even have to say it. Maybe we got some idea. Like I was, doing some of her work, and I was like, I remembered in grade 3 that there was like, for some reason, they put some of the kids in like an advanced math exercise or spelling, and then one in like a not advanced one. And like this guy that I was friends with, he was like, oh, you're in the not advanced one. That's it. I was convinced I'm like a worthless, stupid idiot. So these little things can happen when we're kids and make such a strong imprint in our brains. And the work that we're doing here is undoing those things. And truly, to get to these next ranks and these next levels, it's about undoing that. So when you look at like the Henriettas or the Tara Bliss, or like these people that create presidential diamond businesses in like 18 months, I would say, yes, there's a certain amount of maybe just business knowledge, that like if you just didn't study that, then that's more like a skill. There's some skill sets that you just need to learn. We've all learned how to use Instagram a bit better. There's some skill. However, there's more than that. There's a mindset of, for who knows, for whatever reason, maybe they've done tons and tons and tons of thousands and thousands of hours of coaching, more than we have. Maybe from a young age, there was like an idea of like, yeah, this will just be effortless. But it's not anything that we cannot do. Is that making sense? So I'm really encouraging anyone who watches this to start with some of her work. I'm going to put links under the YouTube, and when I post this on Facebook, that there's so much stuff that's for free on SoundCloud to start. That calls, neuro tools. There's like enough content to last you like 2 weeks. And if you want to start to invest in it and do it together, so she does silver membership, gold membership. I don't think we need to do platinum membership. That's like way too big. But the silver membership's like $40 a month or something, 40, 45. The gold is like 60 or 70. But then you get her Monday coaching and access to like all the neuro tools, all the videos. So I think it's a really, really, really fantastic investment in your business. You can basically pay for it with your fast start. And it just is going to help for that next goal that you're going for. So that's what I'm doing. And I just, I try to just lead by my actions and just do the things to inspire you guys to do the same. And one thing that I actually sat my butt down and did was I actually did my 2019 vision board. And I did it digitally. And I actually made it my Facebook cover photo. And guys, I was like so not wanting to do this. I was like, this is so cheesy. I'm putting this vision board here for everyone to see. I was like cringing. But at Leadership, Marie Kim, our presidential diamond in Quebec, she really impressed me. And it was more than anything, it was just her like fierce commitment. And she had done that. And she had made this vision board and put it on her Facebook. And I was like, what a bold way. And I just want to be bold so that like I can inspire and give permission to people to be bold as well. And to just declare like, yeah, I want this and this is okay. I'm like full in doTERRA and I want to grow this size of business. And I want to attract builders, and people are like, what are builders? What is she talking about? And like, so it's really like a journey of becoming more and more bold and more accepting and understanding how our own minds will work. And we want to work with our minds and not against it. And it's such great timing because Julie told me to check out this documentary on Netflix called Heal, which I'm about 35 minutes into. And it's the same thing. It's just for health, right? I mean, it's the exact same thing. It's like, I mean, there's like nutrition and food, but like, it's kind of like the doTERRA wellness pyramid. And just how powerful mindset is for like transforming disease, So think about if it can do something as like miraculous as that, what can it do is just how we're showing up in the world and speaking to people about our businesses. Because every second, I mean, we know it every second. I'm either like, yeah, I do this thing, or I'm just not gonna bring it up. There's in every single moment those little opportunities, and there's a way to do it that's just very generous and confident, that's not pushy. We know the difference, right? You get that? We know the difference. The story is going to say, oh, I don't want to be pushy. You know how to not be pushy. You're very emotionally intelligent if you're watching this, like, how. So just stretching each day. Oh, I'm going to stretch into what feels a bit uncomfortable. Think of where you are now that like 2 years ago, you never would have been doing this. 3 years ago, 4 years ago. What you're doing now, that seemed insane. So take action now that will have seemed insane like 6 months ago. Like I sat yesterday and I learned all about pets, oils and pets, because I'm actually going to do an Instagram post. I am like really scared to do that because there's so much controversy about pets and I'm just exposing myself for so much criticism. But I'm like, you know what? I have a customer with a kitten and I want her to feel really confident. So I just sat and I watched the vets panel twice and I read the vets. We have like a doTERRA veterinary board now, advisory board. And so I followed those vets and I looked up what they're doing and made the blog post or an Instagram post, and it will go up sometime next week or this week. And it's like, okay, I would not have ever done that like 2 months ago. So little steps, keep growing. I know I want to say, and I think it's thanks to Deb. I think it's thanks to like me lying in bed at night being like, I am abundant, you are abundant. This binaural bombardment, if you've ever done it, it's like very weird. It was like, I grow my business with ease, you grow your business with ease. I attract, and it's like, but it's great. It works. So I'm good. I feel complete. Are there questions or comments or stories or things that resonate that you want to share?
Thank you so much for doing that with the pets, because I have a lot of questions as well, and I don't know, and I'm like, oh, because I wanted to do an Instagram post on that as well. And yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, Jen's doing it. I'll do it too.
Yeah. Let me,
And I'm gonna look at those videos and educate myself and use the tools, right? Because I was like, what can I do? And I also found some other stuff because I have a friend who has a parrot, and she's like, are there any oils that are dangerous for parrots? I'm like, I have no idea.
yeah.
And then I found this vet who actually uses essential oils for parrots. I think I had asked in the essential practice, and somebody gave me an amazing a link to an amazing lady who, instead of like using chemicals and stuff like that, goes for essential oils and holistic ways.
Yeah, it's totally right. And that's probably is out of your comfort zone, and you're like, shit, what am I gonna do about this? Yeah, I'll share. I rewrote that thing so many times. I'm probably gonna rewrite it like 2 more times before I post it. But then I'm like, okay, it's up.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're like, but what if the pet dies?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what the mindset in my head is, right? And I'm like, I'm just gonna stay here. Like,
in the corner.
But no, now we have more and more people who are doing it, and the proof that they're safe, you know.
Exactly. And guys, just know the same way that like as our actions and our mindset expand, and then the fear and the negativity and all the anxiety comes in, doTERRA expanding in the world is an analogy of that too. You got it? Like, as you know, Windex and Vim and all these things are worse for pets, air fresheners, than essential oils. But because essential oils, thanks to doTERRA, are growing so much, it's new, it's scary, and it's like almost like people like to have an opinion. People like to be cynical. They're like, oh yeah, these oils everyone's into, like they're bad for your cat. And they kind of liked it. You know, it's kind of like exciting and fun to like, you know, this whole like social media thing. So just know that that's going to happen. But then at a certain point, there's going to be the overflow, and then everyone will be on board. But we're just the early adopters right now. So we have to just keep paving the way. And it's going to be so cool to see in 10 years where it's just like, oh my God, it'll be amazing.
Can I tell you guys a funny story about that? Just about mindset and about how it's just, you know, again, it always comes back to how are we leading, you know? Yeah. How are we, because the other thing that I find sometimes is that when people, there's almost like this thing where people want to pick, or they want to challenge you, because if you're reactive and if you're defensive, then they feel like validated in the fact that they're challenging you. But so I have 2 wholesale clients that we have been working on this huge project to bring essential oils into the classroom for them. Amazing project. We launched it a couple of months ago, and it's been going really, really well. And one of the teachers, her project is going amazing, but she got a lot of like kickback from one of her students' parents because the student has asthma. So we did a bunch of research. We had a meeting. There was all this stuff going on. Anyways, long story short, because of this one parent and this one student, her whole plan had to be like reimagined. We had to go in from a whole other point of view, which is fine. It's okay. It was growing pains. We adjusted. But so at one point, this student came in. This is a young student. She came in to the classroom, and she was like super congested or something. And she went up to her teacher, and she was just like, oh, I'm having a really hard time breathing today. And the teacher was like, oh, like, I'm sorry to hear that. Is there anything I can do to help? And she was like, no, it just usually happens when the cat litter hasn't been cleaned for a while. And the teacher was like, cat litter? I thought you had very severe asthma. She's like, yeah, I do, but we have 3 cats and 2 litter boxes because my parents say, like, you know, I'll get used to it. And it was literally just like, when she told me this story, my mind was blown. And I was like, this is a specific, perfect example of just like not feeding that kind of mindset, and just understanding that sometimes it literally has nothing to do with, actually, I would say most of the time it has nothing to do with us or the oils or our approach. It has to do with how people's minds are. Yeah, there's just blockages there, neuro blockages, like we're talking about, that literally have nothing to do with the work we're doing. You know, I mean, she literally, wow. The idea of having lavender at calm time was forget about it. Literally, like, I'll take you to court vibes, except they have 3 cats and they haven't cleaned 2 litter boxes in like 2 weeks. You know, so
wow.
Yeah. So just.
That blows my mind.
I know. We were blown away by it. But I mean, the other thing is we have to meet that kind of thing with compassion too. Of course. You know, I think the other side of that is like, what are these people so afraid of? What knowledge are they missing that would allow them to kind of see the ridiculousness of that situation, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, love and compassion, honestly. And then I feel it's like it's a time thing too. It's like you can bring your attention and effort into other places and then gently come back like every couple months, once a year, like you sort of feel it out with generosity. A lavender rollerball to show. I don't know.
Wow, it's really it's mind-blowing how you see the difference from like a person who operates from a space of love and a person who operates from a space of fear.
Yeah, big time.
And the space of fear, there's no way to grow. If you're always rigid and stuck in your little box, you can't expand. You can't, you know, you can't become your true self or.
And it, like, I feel as I grow in this, I understand why and just so fiery about things. I used to not understand it. Ange Peters is like very like people will, you know, throw fear at you and like da-da-da, and it is a really important conversation to know that, like, I was like, people aren't caught in fear because I guess I wasn't living bold enough, right? But now the more and more bold that I start to be, people's fear comes to the surface. Like, we start to push it, and we're all going to push on it. If we're growing, and we all are, it's for the growth table, you know, we're going to see it. And it's just that, it's just like love and compassion, because it's not fun to be living in fear. Like, what's happening in their bodies, you know, what's happening that's making them react like, I'll take you to court because of lavender. Like, think how you must be feeling if you're saying something like that. Like, you're not feeling good. You have not. Like, you haven't just come out.
Not only from the fear, but also from the cat litter. What's going on in their bodies, you know?
I know. Yeah. So love and compassion keep lighting the way. No, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's true. Don't say sorry. It's hilarious. I think it's a wonderful note to leave it on, unless you have another share. Thank you for that story. Okay, lots of love, guys. Unmute yourself and say bye. I know you have no voice yet. Okay, love you guys. Bye. Okay, I'll just